Hello.
Hey, what up, everybody?
Welcome, everyone, to episode 25.
25, and today is the 25th.
I didn't even, did you know today is 9 months until Christmas?
No, I didn't.
That's your fun
How about
fact.
that? That's my
Fun
favorite
fact
holiday.
for
You
the
would think
day.
I would know, yeah.
All right, so welcome, everyone, to episode 25 of Tornado Takeover. As always, we are your hosts.
I'm Fred.
And I'm Angela. And we have a lot to talk about. Some news has dropped today.
What kind of show we have?
A jam-packed.
Jam-packed, baby.
I had to make sure, because sometimes they say action-packed on that.
I mean, either one.
But some news has broken today, and we wanted to share it with all of our lovely listeners. So we have a lot to talk about with OU, and then we have OSU, Tulsa, and the Thunder, who are getting ready to tip off
At 9 o'clock Eastern time.
tonight. So stay tuned
tuned
for all that and so much more.
I'm going to work.
All right, we are back. All right. Sorry, I had to get my... Babe, why? Not my husband literally watching us while we're doing the show.
Absolutely.
All right, so welcome again to episode 25. We got to fix our child.
That's it.
To Tornado Takeover. Already in the chat, we have T5 saying, well, what's good, you two? Have a great show.
T5, what's happening with
you? T5. Check him out on the Crescent City Connection on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 Central, and Larry B. Saying, hey, Fred and Angela.
What's happening?
Yeah. So how's your week been?
Oh, my week's been great, you know. A lot of work, lots of work, as always. Been doing a lot of resting. We've been watching a lot of an old TV show. You want to go ahead and bring that in?
Our Suits.
Yeah.
That we keep talking about dang on week after week. Sorry, y'all. I'm probably going to mess with my hair the whole freaking show because I'm not used to having my natural hair. It's either in a ponytail and a claw clip, straightened out of my face. And now it's ugh. So I'm getting...
Yeah, definitely.
used to it.
But we've been watching a lot of sports, a lot of heavy basketball.
I have been living, I think, all day Friday I watched... No. All day Saturday, I watched women's basketball. Mm-hmm. All day Sunday, I watched men's basketball. And then all day yesterday, we watched women's basketball.
Now, I made it in time to watch the OU game, which we'll definitely be talking about on Sunday.
The first game?
Yeah, they played against...
No, you was last night. Yesterday, we watched the OU. That was the first time you had seen... You didn't watch the first OU game against Florida Gulf Coast.
No, I didn't.
You were at work because that was the game that was on during the middle of the day. You watched yesterday's game against Iowa.
No, I'm talking about the men's.
Oh, that men's game on Friday. See, I wasn't even paying. I completely just skipped over that because I don't even know if that was a game.
Yeah. And it was only the other team pretty much had
UConn. That was the other team.
The other team.
That was the issue.
I mean, anyone who knows sports, UConn is definitely going to be a problem, as they always have been.
Going back to the chat real quick, Glenn from the North Bold Breakdown says, have a great show.
What's happening?
Check out Glenn on Thursdays. It's Thursdays. You would think I would have this memorized.
Right.
Also, Larry says I'm ready for a great show.
Oh yeah, definitely. You came to the right place.
You guys have to forgive me today because yesterday I started my new adventure. Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell them what my new adventure is? So, okay, just a brief backstory. Last week I went through a horrible mental depression. I'm probably gonna cry. It's been 9 years.
9 years.
Since I the 13th was 9 years since I found my lump. But it's been 9 years since I went to the doctor. They actually like agreed with me that there was something there. Cause at first the doctor was like, oh, you're fine. I don't even know why you're showing up. And I was like, no, you guys don't understand. So it's like to relive that all over again.
Yeah.
I feel like, so I don't know about anybody else, but I love my Facebook memories, but I hate my Facebook memories. Do you check your Facebook memories?
Not really.
I love it because I like going back, but I hate it because there's some things that I have to relive.
Yeah.
Like my last picture of my hair, like actual hair that was not even this long,
Right.
but my actual hair, like Palm Sunday when it was me, it was just like, I was growing a lump, but I didn't know it.
Right.
And then it was like Easter again, I knew it was there, but I had not been to the doctor, etc.
Right.
So it was like, I love those memories of like, you know, my nieces seeing how little they were, or seeing
Going skiing,
the family trips and stuff like that. But then it's like you relive these traumatic memories.
Yeah.
So I finally was like, I'm done. I'm gonna stop like having a pity party for myself. And so yesterday we started we didn't start. I started boxing training with you.
Yep.
So let me tell you.
You've done it before.
I had done it before, but like yesterday was the first time we had like trained like
learning fundamentals.
Right, like breaking it down. And then today I had done a 30-minute workout prior while you were taking a nap.
Yeah.
And then worked out boxing for 30 minutes. When I tell you guys, I am so sore right now. Our sports room is upstairs. Every step, I was like, how am I gonna make it up these stairs?
You can barely lift your legs. Well, let me tell y'all something. She's actually really good. She just got to learn a little bit of the fundamentals and things like that. Hold on, real quick on the.
Taryn said, "Good evening, Angela and Fred. Have an amazing
What's up, Taryn?
show."
What's happening with you?
Then he said, "The show is now quarter
century.
Now a quarter century to 100 episodes and halfway to 50.
That's right.
It's so crazy to believe that.
I know, 25, and today's the 25th.
And today's the 25th.
So let me tell y'all real quick. She's got some heavy hands. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the other person on the end of those punches. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I can honestly say I may or may not have used my hands a few times.
Oh, I definitely have. There's no question.
Prior, not that I knew how heavy I was till you told me how heavy my hands are.
Yeah, you hit hard. Yeah.
But yeah. Larry says, I love this bleep show.
Y'all put on every
Y'all
week.
put on pure delivery.
Oh, no. We definitely want to open the door to let people, like, we want people to, it's not just the sports, even though that's what we're here for, but we want to kind of, open the door a little bit. Y'all take a peek in our lives and how we live. You know what I'm saying?
We were supposed to be going to Busch Gardens yesterday. There was a little bit of Busch Gardens. Tampa is only like 20 minutes from our house, 30 minutes.
It's not far at all.
And I have a season pass. My grandma bought it for me when I first started. Basically, she bought me a season pass so I could go to the concerts during Food and Wine. That's really bad. But then with getting the free ticket and stuff, it ended up making it. And then,
there are little complications, little hassles.
And then my mom started taking over when my grandma couldn't. But it's okay. She took over the whole time because my grandma couldn't. But anyways, so we like to go because I can get it for Busch Gardens here. SeaWorld isn't far away. So we had planned on doing that. That fell through. We were so tired.
Yeah.
Then we were going to go today, which
I had my doctor's appointment yesterday.
You were tired today.
I was very tired.
So we decided not to go. So maybe next week.
Yeah, definitely. But in the meantime, in between time, let's get back to that training. So, she's learning her footwork. She's learning how to keep her hands up.
My arms are burning. So mind you, I'm doing this 30-minute boxing after I've already done a 30-minute full body workout.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking banded squat, walking squats. And if you've never done that, Babe did it with me the last set.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking like
after I woke up from my nap, but yeah.
Like arm workouts, like squats, lifting weights, like my body is tired, and we're working out in our garage because we can't work out in the house, or the dog thinks we're playing.
Yeah, so he wants to play.
So,
and also yesterday, just kind of adding to that too, we aired up the basketballs.
Oh my gosh, Babe has now realized why I was a baton twirler, a dancer, and a cheerleader. I may have had the height, but yeah. I will watch it all day long. I have the utmost respect for every single person on that basketball court. It takes a lot of energy
to play basketball.
But let me just tell you, you will not see this 5'11", 5'10", 5'9" white girl on any court. All right, it's just not happening.
I'm gonna film it on court one day. One day we're just gonna go to court.
I'm over here like a toddler,
So I'm telling her, dribble with your fingertips, not your palm.
I go, babe, I have nails. I don't have feeling in my fingertips. That's not gonna help. But yeah, so we started off basketball, and then we switched to boxing because you bought me pink gloves.
I bought you some pink gloves, and we got some pads.
And we got,
some focus mitts.
And so we started 30 minutes there. I don't know what I'm going to do the next 5 days when you're at work. I guess I'm just going to
work on your footwork,
practice.
Yeah, shadow boxing.
Shadow boxing.
Yeah.
Air practice.
I mean, it's the same thing, but that's basically what you're doing. You're just beating the air. Yeah.
But I need some help with my feet. I have two
work on your footwork.
I have 2 left feet when it comes to
so
boxing.
Like I said, just work on your footwork. If you're right-handed, so if you want to move to the right, just move your right foot. If you want to move to the left.
That's the issue that we're having now is I'm 2 left feet. I have 2 left feet when it comes to boxing. But not when it came to dance or cheer or twirl. I was fine. I'm telling you, it's a cancer thing since having cancer.
But the important thing is that I've told you, I've said it over and over. You survived and you won. You know what I'm saying?
Some days I don't feel like it.
I get it because, working all the hours that I work, sometimes I don't feel it either. But you know what? You're still here. And I'm very grateful to God.
Because I wasn't.
But you're here now.
But I am.
You won.
I did.
And now you can use your testimony as an inspiration.
And now we can stop making me cry.
Yeah, but I'm serious about that. Let's go to the comments real quick. Bo North breakdown.
Oh, sorry. Larry B said, okay, so we know Angela was a beast at cheer, but how many sports did you play, Fred? I'm going to guess one of them and say a middle linebacker. Am I correct?
No, let's see. To be completely honest with you, let's see. I played basketball. I played football. I played soccer.
But did you play them competitively?
No. Basketball I did play. I played for a church league.
Okay.
I did compete in a martial arts tournament once.
Martial arts was more of your thing.
Yeah.
That and boxing.
Did that. Boxing. Definitely sparred a lot. That's one of the things I love going to the gym.
But you played backyard football.
Just neighborhood football, just front yard, backyard. Wherever.
That's what I mean, backyard.
Yeah, not like organized.
Right,
football.
not like full pads.
No. Like neighborhood, you tackle anyway without the pads.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I did play baseball. I did play organized baseball in the 6th grade. That is true.
We know. Listen, you probably went a lot further than I did when it came for baseball. I played t-ball.
And the funny thing is, Larry, just to answer your question, I was actually skinny, but football was actually my first sport that I loved.
But your mom,
and I competed for wrestling.
Your mom was a big football fan.
She was a big sports fan. Period.
That's why you were into
football.
Larry said that's awesome.
I got bit by the bug. My mother actually, since we're talking about her, she was actually really good at basketball. From what Uncle Roy told me, so she had a nice little jump on her.
Yeah, well, my parents didn't play. My dad wrestled and he played football.
I went out for the wrestling team twice. I went out for the 8th grade and for my second year of high school.
My brother was huge soccer, and he did play baseball for a while. He was a third baseman, a first baseman, and a catcher.
I was outfielder.
My dad was a third base coach, and him and the head coach used to argue because that was before like the head coach was on third base. And my dad would always send people home, even if they really shouldn't have been sent home.
Yeah.
Needless to say, baseball. My brother picked soccer over baseball.
Yeah.
I did play t-ball when I was like 5 or 6, maybe a little bit older than that. I got kicked off the t-ball team. I was on the Cardinals. I got kicked off. This is kind of embarrassing, but it's funny. I got kicked off the t-ball team because I would stop in the middle of the game, put my glove between my legs, and fix my hair.
You should have been a runaway model, not t-ball.
And then I played tennis. I was big into tennis.
I played one game of tennis in the neighborhood one time. I
was big into tennis. My problem was I was get bored during tennis because the person I was playing against was never ever good. I would get bored. So you've seen the tennis courts there beside my old church.
Mm-hmm.
I literally would hit the tennis ball over the fence and watch it roll down the hill. It got to the point where the tennis coaches asked my parents not to bring me back. So there's a reason why I would also stop in the middle of the tennis matches and do my hair, apparently.
Yeah.
But there was a reason why I did cheer, twirl, and I danced because my hair was always glued in one place on top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly sports were not my thing.
Well, sports.
I mean, they were, but
they still are. Just competitively, maybe not. But as far as commentary,
Larry said Angela was too violent. I spent most of my childhood on a soccer field with other kids whose brother was playing.
Mm-hmm.
They bring it on off of her and her squad. I mean, maybe.
Oh, and Larry B, I never really played middle linebacker. I just am big now. I was always skinny.
You were tiny growing up.
Very skinny. But I could hit and I was fast. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't mind getting hit.
We totally missed this comment that you were in the middle of reading, and then I skipped down. I clicked on Larry's. Glenn said from the Bold North said, inspirational story, Angela. It's so awesome how far you've come medically. I hope your health continues to go well.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely been a whirlwind. One day during our show, I will share my entire story because it's kind of long, but it's a lot. It still makes me cry every time. Yeah. But all right, we got to get into our show. We got a lot to cover.
Let's make it happen.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, hear a word from our sponsors. Larry said I'm with Glenn.
I agree.
Absolutely. When we get back from hearing a word from our sponsors, we are going to break down the breaking news. I mean, I guess it's not really breaking news because a lot of people already know, but
for the don't knows,
we're going to break that down and so much more when it comes to OU athletics. So we will be right back. You guys are watching Tornado Takeover right here on IE Sports Radio.
Your direct feed
for all that is sports.
Stay tuned.
We'll be back.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at @sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right.
What's up,
welcome
everybody?
back.
Glad you're back. Glad you're still with us. For everybody that's here,
Oh, you waiting on me?
absolutely.
All right. Just want to give a huge shout out to all of our amazing sponsors as we do every week. Planet Jerky Premium Beef Jerky. Check them out online at planetjerky.net or their Instagram at Planet Jerky. Also, shout out to Vital Apparel. Check them out and use our code IESR to get 10% off all of your gym workouts. We need to go find us some good stuff.
Yeah,
They've got men's and women's clothing. They also give back to mental health awareness. And I told you guys I've struggled since going through cancer, actually since before that, with mental health. So that is such a big thing that they give back to mental health awareness and research. Also,
it is a real thing, definitely.
It definitely is.
Yeah, I agree.
As we talk about each and every day, Seal the Deal Wax Seal. Cecilia does such an amazing job. We cannot rave enough on all of our wedding invitations.
Oh, yeah.
The seals for that. People are always talking about who made them, where'd you get them, and I'm like, Seal the Deal.
It's funny you should ask.
So you can find her on Instagram at @sealthedeal_wax_seal. You can also order straight from our IE Sports Radio website at iesportsradio.com/sealthedealwaxseals. And then again, shout out to IE Sports Radio, because without them, we would not be here today.
Absolutely.
Make sure you give us a follow on X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok at IE Sports Radio, and like and subscribe on YouTube so you know when all of the latest and greatest of IE Sports Radio shows are coming at you live. Also, if you're unable to watch live on YouTube or X, or Twitch, make sure you check us out wherever you get your podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon Alexa, Amazon Music, any of those. And you can always go back, listen to our previous shows. Also, a huge shout out to our newest sponsor, Raw Nutrition Supplements. Check them out at getrawnutrition.com. Use our promo code IESR for 10% off. I made a huge mistake. I told you guys that you got 10% off at Vital Apparel. That is a bull-faced lie. It is 15% off. Our code IESR is 15% off at Vital Apparel, 10% off at Raw Nutrition. Also, if you guys feel so inclined to do so, here is our supporters link scrolling at the bottom. Also, it is pinned in the YouTube chat at the top. You can click that link. It's like $5, I think, a month. So show your support.
Definitely.
If you feel so inclined to do so.
Yeah,
I'm not
please do.
forcing anybody to
Or coercing you.
giving them.
If you feel the desire to do so, please do.
We're not forcing you to give us your money.
No.
But if you feel so kindly in your heart to do so,
Please do so.
we would appreciate it. Also, make sure you check us out on X, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Tornado TKOV_IE. Sorry. We would love to interact with you guys, have fun. We are constantly posting about everything in OU sports, or not OU sports, but in Oklahoma sports, not just OU, OSU, Tulsa, and the Thunder, but we also talk about the Oklahoma City Sparks, Tulsa FC, all of that. So make sure you give us a follow.
Yeah, ask questions, leave a comment.
Drop a comment, say
we
hi.
love to comment with you.
Send us a DM.
We can have a good conversation.
Not any of those kind of nasty DMs.
No,
I have
just-
a man, he has a woman.
Right.
We're just leaving that G, okay?
Right.
Anything about sports, we're
we're all
to
for
talk
it.
about. All right, so we are going to get into it. Whew, sorry, we just ate nachos. They are amazing, and I still have ground beef in my teeth.
So do I.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful
Well, I'm glad you liked them.
at all,
It was
but
my turn to cook tonight.
it was. But yes, if you see me like, huh,
Yeah.
I have ground beef in my teeth.
I'm picking it out too as we're, you know what I'm saying?
So I apologize. All right, let us
get into it.
Let us get into it. So as always, we are going to start with OU sports. We want to talk about the one and only number one women's basketball recruit. She is number one on the ESPN Women's 100. Miss Aliyah Chavez has none other than committed to the University of Oklahoma. I have chills. Literally.
Shout out.
Chills. She has a 5-star rating. Her scout grade is a 97. Now, keep in mind when Trey Young, who is also from Lubbock, Texas, where Miss Chavez is from, when he was scouted into OU, he had a 5-star rating, but he had a 93. So we all know where Trey Young is now. He is in the league doing his thing with
Atlanta.
with the Hawks.
Yeah.
So to have this is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. Definitely a big win for Lubbock, Texas, you know, because they're both from the same hometown, but definitely a big win for us.
Absolutely. The top 6 schools that she was looking at to come to were LSU, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, Texas Tech, and UCLA. When you look at those 6 schools and you see that 5 of those 6 schools are in the Sweet 16 for the NCAA tournament, all 5 of those schools are either 1 or 2. I think LSU, we're 3. I know we're 3. LSU is also a 3. So they're either 1 or a 3. I believe, yeah, UCLA is a 1. Texas is a 1. Obviously, South Carolina is a 1. And then LSU and Oklahoma are both 3 seeds. But when you see when you see those schools, and it's like, out of all of those schools, and you picked Oklahoma, like, it's, right. I don't know. I literally, when I saw it, literally was running through the house screaming.
No, that's awesome. Because she could have picked anywhere to go.
Yeah, I mean, and you're talking about teams like South Carolina, who's got a record of championships with Don Staley.
Absolutely.
You're talking about Texas,
which,
who has,
even though I'm not a Texas fan, they do have a strong basketball program. I mean, it is
right.
what it is.
You're talking about Kim Moki. I can never say her name right. At LSU, you're talking about this. The Angel Reese's, the Fajay Johnson, like all of those people, and she's coming to Oklahoma that hasn't produced a top like woman's basketball athlete in forever,
right? And for her, with all these choices that she could have picked, I want to go to OU.
Right.
It's big.
I mean,
and she's the number 1 woman prospect in this country.
You see what my girl Jenny Baraszczak is doing, and you see what Peyton Verhulst is doing.
Reagan
Beers, the Van sisters.
Yeah, both of the Vans.
The Van sisters are doing, and everything. And it's like, they're literally building women's basketball back.
But just
Oklahoma.
Sports in general, not just basketball, but for women athletes all over.
Right.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings me to my next thing is that, yes, the OU women are still dancing. They will play against the UConn Huskies, which we all know UConn is. That is going to be a fight to fight. They will play on, what day did I tell you? I told you the day.
I'll find it.
The 29th. They play Friday. Is it Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, today's the 25th. 26, 27, 28. That'll be Saturday.
I swear they played Friday. They're going to be playing at 5:30 p.m. Now I feel like I knew the date in my head, and then I completely just
Skylar Van, also to add to that, she played her last career game
at Monday. The LNC.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So the women did end up defeating Florida Gulf Coast, and then ended up defeating Iowa, which is funny because our head coach Jenny Baraszczak is actually that's where she went to school. Iowa is her alma mater.
Yep.
And they ended up beating them and will now face the UConn Huskies in the Sweet 16. Now, Now,
real quick, just to add to that, Baraszczak will also coach in the Sweet 16 for the first time as a player or coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
that's big.
Just real quick, running down some OU women's basketball stats. The last time that the Lady Sooners have been into the Sweet 16 was in 2013. So it has been 12 years since we have made it. The last time they have been into the Elite 8 was in 2010. So 15 years ago. The last time they made it into the Final Four was in 2010. And the last time that they made it into the championship, they were NCAA runner-ups in 2002. 23 years. Do I think they have what it takes to get there?
They do.
Absolutely. Am I going to say that the road is easy and the path is paved bright red or yellow like the yellow brick road and all they got to do is just follow it? Absolutely not. Much like the Wizard of Oz, they are going to run into a lot of obstacles. That first obstacle is going to happen this weekend, being the Yukon Huskies. I mean, their leading star, what's her name? Peyton Sanchez? I think I just made that up.
Paige Buckers.
She just dropped 34 points.
Yeah, she can ball.
And now I think what kind of upsets me a little bit, so Larry said they do, like they can. He said that path is insane. It's absolutely insane. So you have UConn, who, you know, we all know UConn.
They're a powerhouse. Always have been.
And then God forbid if they beat you, not God forbid, I should say, but
God willing, God bless.
Prayerfully,
yeah.
They beat UConn. They're gonna have to face the winner of USC, Southern Cal, or Kansas State. Both teams, even USC without Juju Watkins.
No, they ball. We watched them last night.
Still,
those girls can ball.
I mean, they're scrappy.
Yeah, they are very scrappy, feisty.
They're rough. That's a rough, ragged
you're gonna
crew.
have to play physical with
they're
them.
Rough and ragged, but they can play. They can ball.
Oh no, I agree. I absolutely agree.
So, like I said, they absolutely do. I think they can make it to the Final Four. Absolutely. Do I think it's gonna be easy? Pardon my French, but hell no.
No, not at all. With the lineup that they have, regardless, okay, if we beat UConn, even if any of those two teams that we play, they're going to be a problem.
I have a feeling, and I don't predict the future. I'm not going to predict the future. I'm not going to say what is going to happen, what's not going to happen. If we beat UConn, our best bet
would be to play Kansas State.
Absolutely. No offense to you, Larry, who's a huge USC fan. No offense to Taryn, the host of SoCal Supreme Sports
We'll have a
Show.
better chance of winning because,
I feel like our odds are more in our favor if we are able to play Kansas State.
Should we beat UConn?
That is going to be the biggest thing.
Because USC last night looked good.
Yeah, and
that Kiki.
And mind you, we started in the second half.
Right.
We didn't watch the first half. We never watched Juju get hurt. And Larry says the Lady Sooners are
special. I agree.
They absolutely are. And
they got a very solid coach.
Her daughter was cracking me up on the sideline.
I like their teamwork because they have a good camaraderie amongst one another. You know what I'm saying? Reagan Beers is the beast in the paint.
Well, see, and this, if you look at Monday's game, pardon me, forgot what day of the week it is. If you look at yesterday's game, Reagan Beers barely played, which is not normal.
But she also got another double-double.
She got in foul trouble early.
She did.
Which caused her to be benched for a while.
Well, they didn't want to lose their star center.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
What also helped is the star player Olsen for Iowa got in foul trouble in the third quarter, and she was sat for a while.
Right.
So, that is the key. I hate to say it, but that's one of the keys to the game is to get those star players in foul trouble early.
So you can take advantage of.
So you can. And you did not start out looking great.
No, they did.
They started out behind, and then, it wasn't by much, maybe like 4 or 5 points, but, no more than 9.
Well, in the second half, the Sooners made 11 3-pointers.
They couldn't hit the broadside of a bar if they were standing in front of it at first.
But here's another thing, adding to Barachek and what she's done with the Sooners. They improved to 75 under her.
70 wins and 5 losses. That was her
18 wins and 3 losses this season.
Wasn't that her 100th career win or something?
I'm not sure about that.
I do know that the game against Florida Gulf Coast, they had 74 assists, which was like the most assists in like NCAA history during the tournament, I should say.
Adding to Reagan Beers, even though she did get in early foul trouble, she did score double-double with 11 points, 13 rebounds, and she tied her career high with 4 blocks. So she was doing it.
She was balling.
Yeah.
Old girl Williams, number 6. who got injured.
Sahara Williams.
Sahara Williams. They were
She got skills.
They were joking about how so here's one thing that I will give it to OU athletics. Not only were the football team present, the volleyball team was there. The softball team was there. They had just gotten back from Missouri. Softball team was there. I believe I don't think baseball was there, but I know football, volleyball, softball, and there was one other sport, and I can't think of who they were, but we're all in attendance.
Right.
One thing they were joking about was that Sahara Williams was so good that the football team might need to sign her on defense.
Yeah.
But no, I'm very.
She has great ball handles.
She does, and I'm very proud of our Sooners. I feel like that
absolutely
they have definitely. They did a lot better than our men's. Unfortunately, our men's did suffer a loss to UConn.
Same team. Them
but
Huskies.
the Huskies were a 2-time defending champs.
And they fought the best that they could against UConn. I mean, Jeremiah Fears.
He was the only one on the team playing.
Yeah.
I don't know where the short little white boy came from. I had never seen him the whole season.
Yeah, he just came out of nowhere.
I mean, he just literally grew out of the ground.
He had a couple of 3-pointers. But yeah, Jeremiah was the main one balling for that team.
Absolutely.
The main one balling. We only lost by 1 point? But
I don't remember now if it was 1 or if it was 2. I got kicked out of the game. That's what it was. Is because normally when I watch OU basketball and you're in the room, they start playing bad. But for some reason, every time I go to the kitchen or I go to the bedroom or I take the dog outside, I would hear you screaming about how great OU was doing. So I just gave up. I went and sat in the bedroom and doom scrolled on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, they're not. Normally it's you, but this game it's me.
yeah, no, I got it. They did the best that they could, but now we're banking pretty much on that the entire athletic department isn't supporting Oklahoma women's basketball.
They're disrespecting the family. I mean,
agree.
it's true.
Yeah, I agree.
But and I hate to say it, and I've seen it so much at ECU games where the teams will come, they'll sit in a little circle, they'll hang out or not a circle, but like in a little section, they'll hang out for maybe a quarter, maybe until halftime, and then they leave. They don't really care. They're like slumped back on the seats. They're not interactive.
Right.
Every one of them is their videos on social media.
But
they're
you know something?
Screaming,
but
yelling.
you know something? The athletics department, I think, should support all the teams. Like, I'm not saying you have to go to every. I'm not saying. Now, be clear. I'm not saying you have to go to every single baseball game.
I understand.
I'm not saying you have to support every single football game.
Or
but this is like really big.
I'm
not saying you got to go to every single game. I get it. You got finals, whatever.
No. I definitely understand.
I get it. But the fact that you're there, just your presence being there, you know what I'm saying? I think is very important. And I think that there should be more of that. So seeing all those guys out there backing up the women's team, with their support, I think is a big thing. So
absolutely. So I want to switch gears just a little bit. So the SEC Women's Gymnastics Championship was this past weekend. Unfortunately, our Sooners fell. They did somehow miraculously only got second place. When I tell you guys that
Jordan Bowers,
I'm not sure what happened with Jordan Bowers. She was not looking like herself. Faith Torres did end up getting a 10 on floor, which you guys know, it's fabulous. I can't remember who it was, but one Sooner had a flawless routine on uneven bars. And even the announcers were like, if she doesn't get a 10 on uneven bars, nobody gets a 10 on uneven bars.
Yeah.
Well, that was bull crap because the Florida Gators were pulling out freaking 10s out of their heinies. And Missouri ended up pulling out a 10. How LSU won and they never pulled out a 10, I don't know.
Right.
But
and that's the only team that we actually lost to in competition.
It is.
It's LSU in gymnastics.
And we actually co-shared the regular season champs with them. We're co-regular season champs with the LSU Tigers women's gymnastics. They LSU did end up meeting What am I trying to say? LSU did end up winning the 2025 SEC championships. Now, reminder for those that don't know, they are the defending national championships as well. So, unfortunately, the Sooners did fall from number 1 to number 2 in overall national rankings. They were only 0.275 behind LSU. Now, I say only because I'm pretty sure at the middle of the second rotation, I was ready to turn the TV off and just bawl in a corner and cry. But like I said, faith in the team, they ended up coming back. Now, the selection show was held yesterday at 12 p.m. on ESPN U. That is the first time they have ever held the NCAA championship on held it on national. Normally it's just like not locally, but they don't broadcast it on a network. Normally it's just like, okay, here it is on a silver, they're contacting teams, etc. But this time they did actually have it. So NCAA regionals are April 2nd through the 6th on ESPN Plus. Semifinals are going to be on April the 17th on ESPN2. The finals live preview, this is important, is going to the national championship will be held on April the 19th at 4 p.m. on ABC. Yes, I did just say ABC.
Absolutely.
We're not on ESPN. We're not on,
we're on a major network.
CBS.
And ESPN is a major network.
Right.
But
we're talking about like a local, huge network. Nationally broadcast. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The finals live preview will start at 3:30 Eastern. Now, what did I just drop? Oh, sorry.
Your tumbler?
My apologies for all that. I bumped it off the couch. Anyways, all right. So the Sooners, I'm not going to go through the whole bracket, but the Sooners will start their round on April the 4th. They will start in the second round. Their meet consists of Oklahoma, number 2, number 15, Auburn, Nebraska, and then the winner of the first round play-in, which is Illinois and UC Davis. Basically what happens is the top 2 winners of that meet will face the top 2 winners of that meet, along with the top 2 winners in that region or that area, which is the second part of it. Missouri, number 7, Missouri, number 10, Georgia, Arizona, and Arizona State. So the top 2 between those 4, plus the top 2 in the Oklahoma area, will compete in the regional final. The top 2 out of those 4 schools will compete in the semifinals. That regional final, like I said, it's the second round. I believe it's the second round is not going to be televised. Regionals will be broadcasted on ESPN Plus. I'm not sure if second round will be, but those 4 teams will compete in the regional round on ESPN Plus on April the 6th. Yes, April 6th. And then out of those 4, the top 2 will compete in the semifinal round on April the 17th. This is very blurry. These glasses are blue blockers, so they're not helping me see. They're just protecting my eyes from staring at y'all. And then the one winner of that meet between those 2 teams, the one winner will head to the national championship. The national championship consists of one winner from each of the 4 divisions. I hope that made sense. It's a little hard to explain without showing you guys. Unfortunately, due to copyright rules, I cannot show you guys. However, we will have this posted on our social media, on our Twitter, X, whatever it's called. So if you want to see the full bracket for the 2025 National Collegiate Women's Gymnastics Championship, head to Tornado TKOV _IE. I will repost it after the show so you guys can see that. All right. Now, you want to take over softball and baseball?
I guess so.
I do want to shout out real quick. Our men's tennis in the ITA rankings is now currently ranked number 2.
Definitely.
So go ahead.
All right,
baseball.
so let's go with baseball. Start off with baseball. Let's see. Oklahoma was ranked number 9. Is going to be hitting the road against Oral Roberts tomorrow, 6 p.m. Can be seen at the Summer League Network and heard on the radio in Oklahoma on 99.3 FM, 1400 AM, or nationwide on the Varsity app with Toby Rowland. So, Oklahoma's going to enter the contest at 20-3 and winners of 9 of their last 11 games. They do have a pair of top 10 non-conference wins, 2 SEC series already on their resume. They did start the season off at 11-0. Program's best start since 2011. So they're definitely, me personally, I'm just going to be honest with you. I see them beating Oral Roberts, which I know we say it every time we bring up Oral Roberts. I actually had the chance of going there. But I definitely see them coming out on top.
Well, this past weekend, they were at Mississippi State and did win the they were at home against Mississippi State. They did win the series 2-1, losing on Friday and winning Saturday and Sunday. Like you said, they are going to head to Tulsa to take on Oral Roberts today.
Today, excuse me. I thought
the
it was
25th.
No, today is the 25th.
It started at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. And then this weekend, they will head to Tuscaloosa to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Also noting, the Sooners have beaten the Golden Eagles 46-38 as far as the record together. The last time they played, Oklahoma did beat ORU 14-0. So they're in the first game in the 2024 NCAA normal regional. So it is what it is, you know. What can you say? You know, OU's baseball team is looking good. They're going to be heading up there. They're going to do their thing. Now, let's switch to softball. All right. Let's see. March the 19th, they did play against East Texas. They did come out with a W, 8-0 in 5 innings. Missouri, same thing, 8-0 in 5 innings. The girls are just again.
They did suffer.
They did suffer a loss.
They did suffer their first loss against Missouri.
I remember texting you when I was.
I thought that you were pulling my leg.
No, they lost. They did.
You said Oklahoma lost, and I said
what?
With
like 3 question marks behind it.
And I guess I didn't really understand the sport at the time of what we were referring to.
Right.
Because that was Saturday. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then you were like, those softball. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And so I was like shocked, stunned.
Like nobody beats the softball girls.
They did lose 1, 2, 3. But they still ended up winning the series against Missouri 2-1. They are heading to Wichita, Kansas tomorrow to take on the Shockers. Then they are going to host Tennessee this week in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before next Tuesday, the 1st, heading to Arlington, Texas to take on UT Arlington. Now, the women's softball program is rankings just came out. They have dropped to number 2, with Texas being the overall number 1. So excuse
can
me,
beat Texas.
that one loss did stink.
Yeah.
Real quick, Ralph said, "Good evening, Angela and Fred. Tuning in late, but sorry. Show is amazing. Finish strong. Let's
My
go."
man Ralph. What's happening?
All right, so we are going to end it there when it comes to the Sooners. We are going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to dive into OSU
And to Stillwater.
and to Tulsa. Got some great news coming out of Stillwater when it comes to basketball. And we have a couple of national title winners when it comes to wrestling.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back after this. You guys are watching Tornado Takeover right here on IE Sports Radio.
Your direct feed.
For all that is sports. We will be back.
Stay tuned.
How we doing, sports fans? This is Christian Harvey, your host of Gritsville, USA, your go-to show for all things Detroit and Michigan here on IE Sports Radio. Whether you're here for Gritty Lions talk, getting pumped up for the great Detroit sports renaissance, or hating on your neighbor depending on if they were green or blue, we got you covered. Whether you're in the East, West, or Central, we got you covered. Join me as we tackle through all that the great state of Michigan has to offer in the world of sports. Catch me, Christian Harvey, each week on Gritsville, USA, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Cleveland and Columbus sports fans, I've got the show for you. I'm Jen B, host of the Show of the Land right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. You want football? I've got the Browns, the Buckeyes, the Eagles, the Purple Raiders, and more for you. You want basketball? I've got the Cavs and the Charge for you. You want hockey? I've got the Blue Jackets and the Monsters for you. You want football, aka soccer? I've got the Crew and the Crunch for you. You want volleyball? I'm going to unleash the fury for you. You want more Cleveland and Columbus sports? I've got them all for you, from the majors to the minors to the college rinks. Catch me, Jen B, every week on the Show of the Land right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sport.
All
What
right,
up?
welcome back, everyone, to the Tornado Takeover right here on IE Sports Radio.
Your direct feed.
For all that is sports, as always, we are your fine host for the evening.
I'm Fred.
Just messed that up, Angela. Our
That's a long name. I'm just messed that up. Man. You should ain't jump ball Jack.
Oh, that guy. We're not getting into him again. All right. So let's talk some Pokes basketball.
Go Pokes.
So I figured it out. It's only taken me the entire basketball season to realize.
Okay.
The University of Illinois does two fingers and the L because that looks like the Roman numeral, or not Roman numeral, but their logo, which is like the English I.
Okay.
I mean, English L. Anyways, the Pokes do one finger. So it's like pew pew, like a gun. I thought it was pew pew, 2 fingers, but they were doing it like this. And I'm like, this is the University of it. This is Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
Or Louisville.
You said Illinois.
I said Illinois. No wonder why you were so confused.
That's why. Okay, which one is it? Is it Illinois? Is it Louisville?
Louisville, the Cardinals with teeth.
Yeah,
because
the Cardinals.
Everyone knows that Cardinals have teeth.
Oh yeah, they all do. They all do.
Anyways,
I seen one flossing one day.
So I figured it out.
Yeah.
It's only taken me the entire basketball season to realize that
you finally got it though.
They went from this is Louisville.
Which one is it though?
Louisville.
Okay.
Louisville. This.
I want the whole crowd to do the Louisville.
Is Go Pokes.
Pistol Pete.
Because.
No.
All right, Golden Tate.
All right.
All right. So, anyways,
before you do, let's head to the comment section real quick.
Oh, we have no comments, babe. Why are we heading to the comments for?
Fred,
Fred, my man, you're great.
Hey, you ain't so bad yourself, man. All right, jumping on in.
All right. All right. So, women's basketball, the OSU Cowgirls did take on South Dakota State. I'm sorry. I need glasses, clearly. We took on South Dakota State on Saturday after their game started an hour. Yes, an hour after the OU game started. So I had OU on the big TV. I had OSU on the computer. I had another TV with something else going on. I think I was watching NC State or something. Finishing that game up. Right. Anyways, a lot going on. So unfortunately, the Cowgirls did fall to the Jackrabbits.
I already know. We laughed about that yesterday. The Jackrabbits.
They did fall to them in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Right. We are completely still very proud of our Cowgirls for making it to the NCAA tournament. Unfortunately, they just got upset they were a number 7 seed. South Dakota State was the number 10 seed. South Dakota State met their match and lost to UConn. Mm-hmm. So which means we could have almost had a battle of Bedlam. Mm-hmm. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
If OSU would have somehow beat South Dakota State and then, barring a miracle, beat UConn, we could be having a battle of Bedlam this weekend in women's sports.
That would have been historic.
That's funny.
That's big.
All right. So, meanwhile, on the hardwood. It's time for my bedtime.
Yeah.
On the hardwood.
We're not doing a show at Lowe's. Meanwhile, on the hardware, aisle 27 has power drillers on sale for $259. On the hardwood. Yeah, I'm having fun.
Okay.
On the hardwood.
The Oklahoma State men's team is competing in the NIT, the National Invitational Tournament, also known by my brother and I as the Not Invited Tournament. So they were ranked number 4 going into this. They did end up beating Wichita State. They then had to head to Dallas to take on SMU. SMU plays in Dallas, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Head to Dallas to take on SMU. They did beat the Mustangs, and they will be hosting tonight. Tip-off happened about 4 minutes ago. The North Texas Mean Green. So they are in the quarterfinals, basically kind of like the Elite 8 type thing. Except there's only 32 teams in the NIT, and then it goes to 16, and then they can't, because it's copywritten, can't call it the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. It's funny because I think the women's call it the Super 16, the Great 8, and the Fab 4, which I think is absolutely hilarious.
Right.
But yes, so Oklahoma State that game has kicked off they will be
I'm just pulling up OSU.
They will be taking on the North Texas Mean Green Machine. Is it Mean Green or is it Green Machine? Mean Green today, right now.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, to head to punch their ticket into the semifinals, which will be on April the 1st. The championship game will be held at Hinkle Fieldhouse. The semifinals and the championship and the finals match will all be held at Hinkle Fieldhouse on February 1st for the semifinal match, and the final match will take place on April the 3rd at 9 p.m. Eastern. All right. Would you like to discuss basketball?
Sure. But I did want to touch.
I mean, not basketball. Whatever you wanted to talk about when it came to OSU.
Well, there is some.
I had a brain fart.
No, you're good. Let's talk some OSU basketball, guys.
We just talked to OSU basketball.
Softball is what I meant, excuse me.
Oh, softball. The women are ranked 15. I just so happen to have the rankings on my phone.
So, did you know that Mike Gundy had a meeting with the press Tuesday afternoon?
To discuss. Never mind. I won't.
Getting another headbutt. So,
go ahead. What did he talk about?
All right, let's get on that. Oh, Mike Gundy. I want to talk about this for just a quick second. The source is from the OSU website. It did say that Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State's 4 rostered quarterbacks met with the media following a 2-hour non-padded workout. He did say that I'll feel my way. This is a quote. I'll feel my way through it the next 6 months and see how it feels, but it's been okay. Once we got settled in after about a month of off-season training, it felt normal. And then, of course, recruiting picks up, so that feels normal. Recruiting's different, but it still felt normal. So this is talking about getting acclimated with all the new staff and players. Basically, he's just talking about all the changes that are going on. We'll see. But let's switch over just real fast to
baseball.
I'm actually going to go to softball.
Softball.
I
look like I just woke up.
Oh, you look fine to me. So, Oklahoma State softball has definitely swept the Big 12 Conference weekly awards. Amanda Hassel received Player of the Week honors. Ruby Malin earned Pitcher of the Week recognition. Oklahoma State is the only team in the conference to sweep the weekly awards this season. Megan Bloodworth and Malin swept the awards on March the 4th, and they are the first team since Oklahoma in 2023 to sweep the awards multiple times in one season. So, guys, do it. Hassel led the Big 12 in batting average, .714, slugging percentage, 1.714, finished tied for first in on-base percentage, .667. On the week after going to combine 5 for 7 with a double, 2 home runs, and 8 RBIs across OSU's 3 games against Baylor. So they're looking pretty sharp.
Okay, you going to read us the scores and tell us who the heck they beat?
Sure. Let's get into that. Miss Carter. Hold on. My computer, my phone is acting a little slow right now.
Let me pull it up for you, baby.
I don't know what's going on here. We're acting a little slow.
All right. Fred does not believe to be on the Wi-Fi.
Alrighty, hold on just a
We
second.
have Wi-Fi in our home, but he is yet to, I think he's only connected maybe 4 times to our home Wi-Fi.
Probably. Let's see. They did defeat Baylor Cowgirls Stadium Sunday. 2-1 victory in 9 innings. They improved to 19-7 overall, 4-3 in the Big 12 with the win. Baylor fell to 13-19 overall and 2-7 in the league. This is the first extra innings win for the Cowgirls this season. Hassel's home run is the first walk-off home run since Carly Godwin did so against Texas A&M earlier this season, and it definitely launched OSU to a win.
The Cowgirls will head to Georgia tomorrow to take on Georgia. And then
They play Georgia?
Yeah, they play Georgia in Georgia.
Okay.
Imagine that.
How about that?
On Wednesday, which is tomorrow. And then Thursday and Friday, they will head to, they'll stay in Atlanta. No, they'll go from Athens, where they play Georgia, to Atlanta to take on Georgia Tech in a 2-game road series. And then they will take on Penn State, also in Georgia, on Saturday. This must be like some sort of tournament, although it's not giving me a tournament. It's just telling me these are separate games, which is weird. So yeah. Women's softball women's softball, but softball is definitely looking good for the Cowgirls.
Absolutely. Want to head to baseball? Let's go talk about the brothers playing baseball. So, Oklahoma State did pick up its first conference win of the season on Saturday. They defeated Utah 5-4. They improved 11-9 overall, 1-2 in the Big 12.
Who did you say they played?
Played against Utah.
Oh, that's right. They did take on the Utes.
Yeah, and beat them. Like I said, they did improve.
They only
11-9 overall.
Wait, no, that's not accurate information.
How's it?
They lost 2 games against Utah. They only won 1 game, which was Saturday, 5-4.
That's what I said.
They lost Friday 11-0.
That's why I said they picked up their first conference win.
And then they won, and then they lost again on Sunday,
This is true.
3-12.
Yeah, they got beat bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good. Go ahead and finish off.
Tonight they're taking on Wichita State. Then they will head. That game has already. Yes, that game's already started. And then they take on Kansas. They head to Kansas to take on the Jayhawks Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So they got a 3-game road stand. And then next Tuesday, they will head to Springfield, Missouri to take on Missouri State.
So, real quick, you have some news about Cowboys wrestling, don't you?
I thought you were going to read it.
I mean, I can, but since we're switching over, okay, I mean, if I just have to.
You're the wrestler, not me.
It's a joke.
I would not, babe. Let me just tell you,
It is a joke.
I tried to watch. I had not a foggiest idea what I was watching, except for grown men in a leotard grabbing each other's legs. And
Well, no disrespect.
No.
Well, no disrespect. But, we're both big professional wrestling fans. And they wear Speedos.
I mean, you're right. But
They wear Speedos.
I don't know what I was watching.
And they kick.
I haven't lately, but usually watch WWE and stuff like that, or whatever the heck it's called now, for the storyline.
So you got the guys in leotards grabbing each other.
You know me, I watch everything for a storyline. Okay.
And, well, if you want a storyline, WWE has all the storylines in the world. It's like some big swole up soap opera.
I almost spit water everywhere. Are you going to talk about what happened in wrestling?
Yeah, I am. We were talking about your guys in panties wrestling each other, doing jump kicks. All right, so real quick, I'm not going to.
They're not my guys, anyways. I have my guy right here,
and I have my lady. All right, just real quick. Oklahoma State heavyweight Wyatt Hendrickson was named in finals for the 2025 Win Magazine/Culture House Dan Hodge Trophy, presented annually at ASICS Wrestling to the nation's top NCAA Division I wrestler. He is definitely one of 3 finalists for the honor. Penn State's Mitchell Masonbrink and Carter Starachi. A fan vote will be counted toward the tally to determine the winner and can be found on Oklahoma State's website. But Hendrickson did complete his final collegiate season with a perfect 27-0 record.
Yeah.
And national title at heavyweight.
You didn't do very good.
No. I've said it several times. We've already talked about it. I did consider going to OSU at one point. Definitely have a solid background when it comes to wrestling. What more can you say about him? Congratulations to you, Mr. Hendrickson.
I thought you were about to start singing like the birthday song, but congratulations to you. Congratulations.
No,
to
no,
you.
that thought never once crossed my mind.
You've never done that before?
Maybe once or twice, but I wasn't gonna do it now.
Here, would you like some?
Yeah, I need some. It's hot up here too.
It's very hot up here. I swear there's
Take over. I'm a little preoccupied. At
I
this
swear. All right, we are going to head over to Tulsa to talk about the hurricane. So, as we discussed earlier, last week, the Tulsa men's basketball.
What's with the mouth movement?
They're done. Their season's over with. It's a wrap. Good riddance. The women's basketball, however, I think the birthday song is copyright.
Well, Taryn, thank you for telling us that, and that's which we kind of already do. But I'm glad I didn't say it because
don't sue me, anybody. I'm broke. Okay, just want to clear that up.
We paid bills.
All right, excuse me. I have to go through my list of brackets I have here. What bracket would you like? Would you like the men's NIT that OSU is in? Would you like the men's NCAA tournament, which OU was in? Or would you like the women's NCAA tournament, which OU is in and OSU was in? Or the women's NIT tournament? This is gymnastics one. Anyways, so the Tulsa women were in the WNIT, the women's not invited tournament. Women not invited. Anyways, so they did take on Linderwood in the first round. However, that was all, because they did lose to Linderwood. So there's no more basketball in Tulsa University, or at Tulsa University, I should say, excuse me. So we're just going to skip right to softball. Because of Title IX, there is no basketball or baseball in at Tulsa. They do have men's soccer, not basketball. It's really weird. If you don't understand it, go Google it. I still haven't figured it out, and I've known about this for years and years and years. Anyways, moving on. So women's in softball for the Lady Golden Hurricanes, they did had two last Wednesday and Thursday. They were in Cullowhee, North Carolina, taking on the Western Carolina Catamounts. They did beat them on Wednesday and they had a doubleheader Wednesday. My apologies. The first game, they beat them 9-7. Second game, they beat them 8-3. Then they headed this past weekend to Birmingham to take on the UAB Blazers. They did lose the first two games. They lost Friday 3-4 and Saturday 1-2. They did end up winning on Sunday 4-0. Tomorrow they will host the Central Arkansas team. I thought I could tell what this is. I don't know if it's a bear. I'm assuming. I don't want to speak. But they will host Central Arkansas tomorrow. And then this weekend, they will host the North Texas Mean Green. I still want to call them the Green Machine, even though I know that's not what their name is. This weekend, they will host them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for a 3-game homestand. And then they are off until the end of next week. So no midweek game for the Lady Hurricanes this or next week. They will again take on host Central Arkansas tomorrow, and then they're going to host the North Texas Mean Green this weekend. Anything else you'd like to add for Tulsa before we take a quick break?
No, I think we got it.
All right, guys. So we are going to take a short, fast, quick break. And then we're going to end, as always, on the Thunder, who are, as always, doing their thing.
They're doing their thing. They're doing their thing.
All right, guys. We'll be right back after this. You guys are watching Tornado Takeover right here on IE Sports Radio.
Your direct feed.
For all that is sports. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy, Dentarius Lava.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That give you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
All right.
What's up?
Welcome back to tonight's episode of the Tornado Takeover, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
We are your hosts. I'm Fred.
And I'm Angela.
And today, this is what we're going to talk about. we're going to head over to the NBA, to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, my hometown, by the way, and talk about the who? Oklahoma City Thunder.
Thunder up.
Thunder up. So,
I can't be serious.
starting off with their record, they have a total of 59 wins and 12 losses, which makes them the number one team in the NBA.
All right.
Very excited.
Clearly.
That's a word she likes to use a lot too. Like whenever she wants to make a point, she'll go clearly.
You know all my secrets?
No, not all of them. But we can talk about that clearly. So, the Thunder did win the last 3 games. On the 19th, on Wednesday, they won 133-100 against the 76ers. They defeated the Hornets 141-106. On the 21st, on Friday, and on the 23rd, on Sunday, they defeated
the Clippers.
Looks like the Clippers, 103-101.
Remember, because I said that their logo was like a cruise ship.
Yeah, they changed the logo. They are playing the Sacramento Kings tonight.
You lied.
What about what?
You told me that game was at 7 p.m. That game's at 10 o'clock.
Excuse me.
That's a 3-hour difference. That is 7 p.m. on the
Maybe it's 7
West
o'clock
Coast.
on the West Coast. I see. But they will be playing the Sacramento Kings. So
tonight.
they're looking really sharp.
And then who do they have coming up for the rest of the month?
Coming up for the rest
They're
of the
home
month.
the rest of the month, right?
They will be playing the Grizzlies on Thursday at 8 p.m. On Saturday, they'll be playing the Pacers at 8 p.m. And on Monday at 8 p.m., they will be playing the Chicago Bulls.
That is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7
Just
p.m.
to be clear, yes.
Central.
So they are the number one team in the league, and they are looking absolutely.
Who's number 2 in the conference?
In the conference, I believe it's the Rockets. Hold on just a second.
I swear, number 2 is forever changing.
Yep. Number 1 is Thunder, again, 59 wins, 12 losses. Number 2, the Rockets, 46 wins and 26 losses. Number 3, the Nuggets, 45 wins and 28 losses. Number 4, the Los Angeles Lakers, 43 wins, 28 losses. Number 5, the Memphis Grizzlies, 43-28.
Okay, we don't need to know.
No, I was just going to stop at 5.
I was going to say.
No, we'll be here all night.
Not that we'll be here all night because it's not like there's 1,000 teams, but it's just like, hello.
Yeah. You guys are at number 4, the Lakers. The Thunder is.
What did I call us today? I said the Lakers are playing the Kings, and then I looked at you and I go, "Wait, what's our team?
No,
what's our team?"
I was going to say the Lakers is your team. You still support us though.
Okay, the Thunder, and I was like, "Yeah."
I didn't even say it like that. The Thunder. I didn't say it like that. Hey,
be nice.
That'd be nice. So, you want to add anything else before we take it home?
Oh yes, I do. So real quick, 11 minutes left, or excuse me, 10:21 left in the first half. The OKC OSU Cowboys, the men's team, are down by 15-11 to the University of North Texas. So just wanted to throw that out there for you guys. If anybody wants to watch that game, is on ESPN Deuce, better known as 2. All right, guys. So that is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you, everybody who has tuned in. As always, we appreciate you guys. Very sad news. This will be our last show for the month of March. We'll see you in April.
Absolutely.
Ha 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 ha. Fooled you.
Ha ha ha.
No, I'm kidding. All right, we will be back next week, April the 1st. Hopefully, we won't have too many April Fool's jokes.
We may have a few. You know, you got to keep the show fun.
But we'll see. But as always, thank you guys so very much for always tuning in.
Absolutely. For those who have tuned in, we appreciate you being here, showing up.
Thank you for everybody in the chat who was keeping it. I don't know. Wow, this sudden half my head is gone. That has been keeping it popping. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much again. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at IE, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at IE Sports Radio. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube at IE Sports Radio, and follow this show's account on Twitter X at TornadoTKOV_IE. Thank you guys so much.
Everybody in the chats also, thank you for coming in, hanging out with us, guys, and watching the show. Thank you for the support. Thank you for family. Thank you for friends. Thank you for blessings. Thank you for all you guys out there, because again, without y'all, without the sponsors, there would definitely be no us. So definitely give a shout out to them. Yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you guys so much. We hope you all have a very blessed and happy week. And this has been Tornado Takeover right here on IE Sports Radio. And you're directing. Have a good night.
Hey.